Okay, everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is a continuation with Miss Annie here, day number 3, and she has progressed very nicely. And you can see how she was doing from day 1 if you go back and watch the previous videos. And hopefully I post the videos in order. So as you can tell, pulling is very limited. She's following me very nicely, and when I turn, I say around, so she learns to hear my voice. She's very attentive with her ears, and as you can tell, she has a dynamite nose. It's always to the ground. So we'll work on that as we go along. When we're walking, that she has her head up, but we're just going in baby steps here, baby steps. So Annie, for those that are just joining into this video, Annie is a 6-month-old dog. She's been a kennel dog all her life. And she was adopted by a family that has asked me to train her. So we're doing that. And not really much formal training. And all the training she has had has been done with treats, okay? So you can see how much better she has already. See how she's already watching my feet where I'm at? See how she turns her head to the right? Whoa. Sit. Look at that. She sits down after the whoa, a preliminary word to slow her down. Okay, heel. Heel. Preliminary word to slow her down. And then we go into a sit. Okay, so let's try it again. Whoa. Kind of went on a little further that time. Sit. Good girl. Now that time all I did is I stopped and she wanted to keep going. I just held it back like this. Very gentle, nothing forceful, nothing hard. Just held the pressure. She slowed down and then she sat. Okay. You could tell how much she's improved in the little time that we've had her. Heel. Good girl, Annie. Good girl, Annie. She feeds off my praise. Matter of fact, I would be willing to say that she probably feeds off of my praise better than she would a treat. Okay, because a treat, it soothes her stomach. Okay, it pleases the stomach, in other words. But my praise, it pleases the mind. And that stays with her, okay? That's that relationship we're trying to start with me and her. And it's more rewarding when she's in a situation and, you know, both of us are new to each other. And if she is perhaps nervous or uncomfortable, getting that praise from me, see this butterfly? She's going after that butterfly. Look at her. So I just stopped, held firm, and let her know that I don't want her doing that. Okay? Heel. So just taking control of the situation and just let her watch, but yet teach her that, okay, it's okay to watch the butterfly as it goes by, but we don't need to be pulling and don't even think about running after it. And the way we can enforce that is by just standing still, creating a nice anchor point, let her know that we don't want that to happen. Okay? So look, see how she's watching my feet? Look how she's watching me. Now watch what I do. I'm gonna stop, cut back this way. Look at that. She comes with me. She came right with me. Okay? We're gonna do it again. Stop. I'm gonna cut back. Gently go back the other way. There she goes. She's very, very easily distracted. Very easily distracted. Whoa. Sit. Good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Good girl. Heel. So I want her to learn to feed off of my energy. I want her to learn that she can trust me. And I'm not going to ask her to do anything that's going to hurt her. I'm not going to ask her to do anything that would be bad for her. And we're just going to keep working this up in a relationship. So what I'm doing is I'm maintaining my role in this relationship. And what is that role? I'm her leader. Okay? I'm the alpha in the relationship. I want her to lean on me, metaphorically speaking. Okay? I want her to trust me for her everything. Okay? Now, that's a big responsibility because I am her leader and I am the alpha and I am her everything. I cannot let her down. Okay? Even though I want that role in this relationship, I cannot let her down. So, as I lead her, I gotta let her know that I will not let her down and that her interest is in my best interest. Okay? And that's how that relationship starts. And when these dogs feel that and they know that, they will do anything for you. Okay? Annie is almost scared of her own shadow. That's how fearful she is. This girl cannot take fireworks. Okay? Look at that, gentle right around. Look at that. I stopped and she came right back with me. Okay, she's doing really good considering how hot it is today. It's very hot, very humid, and she just keeps going with me. Okay. And so she cannot take fireworks. Whoa. Sit. Good girl. Sit. Good. That's a good girl. Good girl. Stay. I'm gonna add the extra command there. Stay. Good. Stay. Good girl. She can't take fireworks. Stay. She can't take fireworks. She cannot take thunderstorms. She does really well with music. Very well with music. Matter of fact, I think music calms her. It soothes her. So I spend, I don't know, probably a good hour or two. Stay. I spend an hour or two a day playing music for her. Okay, and it's coming from me. I'm actually physically, I'm not playing like some automated music for her, okay? Because that's indirect. Okay, I want her to see that the music's coming from me. Okay, so I sit down for about an hour, hour and a half, maybe two, depending on how much time I have. It's usually in the evenings after my days are done. And I will sit there and literally play the guitar for her. I play the electric guitar, I play the acoustic as well, but I play the electric for her. To kind of give you a style or genre that I play for her, it would be kind of hillbilly, how do I want to say this? Blues, jazz a little bit. And I say hillbilly, I mean like what do they call that? More of a southern style, if I could say it that way. Let me just give you a couple artists, and you'll know what I'm talking about then by saying it this way. Jerry Reed, Chet Atkins style, okay? More of that double picking, bass lines, so they have to hear the different notes as they're being played and chords as they're being played together. By all means, I don't sound like, no, leave it. I don't sound like Chet Atkins or Jerry Reed, but that's my style. Okay, so just because I say I play like him doesn't mean I sound like him. So anyway, I love music. I love not all genres, but some. I'll just put it that way. So anyway, so I play for her. She does really well. And then what I do is, as I'm playing, in the background, I have thunderstorms going. Okay, and that's automated and whatnot. And one thing I've noticed is, whoa, sit, good. One thing I've noticed is that she takes the playing, it doesn't matter how loud I'm playing, she takes it very well. Heel. And she takes the thunderstorms actually surprisingly combined it with the guitar playing. But immediately, as soon as I would play any fireworks or anything that resembles fireworks, she gets nervous, very, very nervous, very quickly. So what we're going to do, and this is going to take a ton of time, is we are going to work on that and see if we can actually get her where I can play fireworks for her and they don't bother her. But I'm going to go to the next level. I'm going to get it, see if I can get it to where I can actually shoot a gun around her. And I would love it to be able to shoot a gun over her. The other thing we're gonna be working on, Miss Annie, is swimming. Her family told me that she does not like to swim and will not swim. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Labrador that will not swim. You know why she won't swim? You know why she doesn't like fireworks? A couple things. Number one, poor associations. That's the first thing. And what do I mean by poor associations? Meaning she's never been given the opportunity to have positive associations. So what does that do? It creates a fear. She fears the water, okay? She fears fireworks. And the second element to that would be is that she probably had poor socialization as a puppy. And this is why I over and over and over and over, I say it constantly, over and over and over again. We have to train our dogs. And socialization is it's a huge part of it. You know, diet and exercise and genetic breedings of these dogs is very critical as well. But the socialization is just as important, okay? Because if they can't go out with a family, I've heard families tell me that, you know, they've had to medicate their dogs to calm them. You all know what I'm talking about. They had to medicate their dogs so that they can, you know, have a firework, you know, the Independence Day celebration. And, you know, by all means, you know, that's the freedom of our country. You know, July 1st. And then when July 1st, they were coming together in the meetings, and July 4th came around, and we actually have the Declaration of Independence. That's a foundation cornerstone for our country. And if you're an American, I believe all of us look forward to that day to celebrate our independence as a country. And we love to celebrate it with our families, either at the lake, at the home. We all get together and we barbecue, and it's a time that we celebrate our independence, okay? And it's a time that we could be with our family. Well, it's a bummer when we can't have our fur babies with us, because they're just a part of the family too. Whoa, sit. Good girl, good girl. You see that pressure on, pressure off? So that's why it's critical that we do this, okay? And it's not just like, well, you say, well, you know, I'm in the city and, you know, we don't have gunshots here. Well, actually you do, you just don't hear them because it's at night, because there's unfortunately violence. We have gun violence, okay? So there is gunfire going on, you just don't hear them. And if you do hear them, now you know what I'm talking about, okay? So, and we got to do our part as in our own communities and in our own families, in our own little circles. And what we could do with this for these dogs and these pets that are a part of our lives, we train them so they get used to this, okay? Heel. And when you're in the city, let's just say you don't have any gunfire. Let's say you're in small town USA, okay? You're in small town USA, no gunfire. But what about the lawnmower? What about the hedge trimmers? What about all them other noises? What about if someone slams the door to the house? One of the children are running out and they get excited. Or what if mom, or perhaps you, are in the kitchen and you're cooking and you drop that dish on the floor or that pan? See, this is elements. If they can take a gunshot, they could take that pan falling on the floor. And you say, well, what's the difference? Well, here's the difference. Your pan will only echo so far. It would only vibrate out so far. Whoa, sit. Good girl. That's a good girl, Annie. Good girl. See, but what a shotgun does, the recoil off of a shotgun is much more extreme than a pan. It's much more extreme because not only does it make a loud boom, but there's a recoil that comes off of that gun and out of that barrel that the dogs can actually feel it. And you can too if you took time to acknowledge it. You could feel it, okay? And so when they can take a gun being shot from 30, 40, 50 yards, and then basically you're shooting over top of them. Now, I can't do that with all of them because my time doesn't allot with every puppy. But when you could do that, it makes the dogs where they can take just about anything, okay? Just about anything. So that's the reason behind that socialization. And that's the reason, even if you don't want a hunting dog, that's a reason to have a dog that you have that's been trained that can be shot around, because noises won't hurt them or bother them at all, okay? So anyway, you can see how much better she's doing on just day 3. I mean, she's walking gently with me. You know, she's not perfect, and I don't expect her to be perfect. Heel, around, heel, heel, heel. She's sidetracked. There you go, right there, good, right there, heel, right there, good, heel, good girl, good Annie. Okay, so what we're doing, just to summarize with Annie, whoa, we're giving her some training. Now sit, good girl. We're giving her some training, some formal training, and I am being the leader, and I'm not going to disappoint her in this leadership, okay? And I'm establishing a relationship with her, okay? You cannot expect to go to Humane Society or the local shelter, adopt a dog, and go in there and just say, sit, come, stay, heel, sit, come, stay, heel, drill. I mean, okay, it's not the military. Okay, if I could say it that way. You have to create a relationship with these dogs, okay, animals. They won't trust you. They get nervous, they're scared. So take the time, introduce them to their environment, okay? Build a relationship with them. Once you see that they're starting to watch you like that right there, see how she turned her head? We'll say, oh, where's he at? Look, there he is. Okay, once you see that behavior, she's showing that she's looking to me for her guidance. Okay, when you start seeing that, then you can go to the next step. Start adding more commands and praise, showing, whoa. Showing her what you want her to do. Sit. Good girl. And she wants to be with you. They want to be with you. Domesticated animals, they have a desire to be with us. Okay, I'm just going to give her some free time here. Okay, that's my release that she can do what she wants. I'm just going to follow kind of behind her a little bit so I don't want her jetting off on me or whatever. I don't know if she's a runner. I don't think she is, but I don't want to find out either. So, taking the time, getting that trust in them, building that trust with them, and then you can start going into those things, showing them what you want them to do, and then give the command, and then praise them. Okay, it's simple as that. If they do something that you don't want them to do, you just kind of bypass it. Don't, just overlook it, so to speak, for now. This is beginning stages, and then later on you'll correct those. And we'll get to some videos that shows you how to do a little correcting, okay? And sometimes with an older dog like this, if they're moving really quick, they don't have any bad behaviors and any things like that, sometimes you can move along pretty quick with them, just because you can have that trust. You can build that trust quick, and then you can move a little faster. So you gotta let the dogs tell you how fast they want to move. And it's just reading their body language. She's chill, she's hot right now, so we're in the shade. And it's you can tell that we're in the shade because there's the sun over there, and this is darker over here. She's just laying down or lounging down, being lazy, and just chilling. But she's by me, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this relationship, and I'm going to ask her to do some things for me that's going to get out of her comfort zone. But here's the thing. When she starts getting out of her comfort zone, I'm going to let her know that I'm right there for her. I'm not going to ask her to do a thing that's going to hurt her. And what she's going to learn to do, she's going to learn to trust me and say, hey, you know what? He's asking me to get out of my comfort zone, but I know he's not going to hurt me, and I know he's not going to ask me to do things that's bad for me or that is going to hurt me. And I can trust him. So, and what I'm doing when I do this is I'm replacing what her mother would have done for her, or another dog in her litter, perhaps a litter mate. Or so let me explain this, let me explain it like this. When a dog or a wolf or a coyote or a fox, wild dog, is in their litter and they're in the wild, they will look to the alpha, and when they see something take place, they will respond out of fear, They will respond out of territorial defense. They look to the alpha as to what am I supposed to do in this situation. If alpha's not there, they will look to beta, and then she will take charge. Okay, if let's say alpha's out hunting or something, I'm a bad example, but what my point is they look to their leaders. My point. Okay, and what we're doing is we're replacing that model with me and her, and I am her leader, and she looks to me. And so if I am showing no fear with an issue, she will show no fear with an issue. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. You can make a comment in the section below if this makes sense to you, and how important this is to establish that relationship with these older dogs. Okay, and I say older dog, I mean she's an older puppy. Really, I mean, she won't be an adult until she's 2 years old. So establishing this relationship with her is a key element, very important, and that they trust you. Okay, and what we're doing is we're replacing that. Now she's 6 months old, so what I'm having to do is go back and do those things that I would do with my puppies if I would be doing the socialization program with them. And I would go back to when she was a puppy, a young puppy, even fairly new puppy to this world, and start this socialization with her and build that confidence, and then replace that what the mother would be doing with her and showing her what to do and how to do. Okay, and so this is sometimes a good example as to why it's important to leave the puppies with the mothers to a certain degree, or to a certain date or a certain age of the puppy's life. It's important to leave them with their mother depending on the breed. Okay, so the smaller breeds, the longer they're with their mother, the better off they're going to be. If they're a livestock dog, the longer they're with their mother, the better they're going to be. With a pet, generally speaking, the longer they're with their mother, the better they're going to be. Now, however, there's a fine line in there. Okay, when you're dealing with a pet like this, and they're with their mother until they're 8, 9, 10 weeks old, or even 6 weeks old. Okay, the breeder needs to make an establishment on when they're no longer nursing off the mother and when they're going to have time away from their mother, because what they'll do is the mother will give the puppy some behaviors that is not desirable as a pet. And what I mean by that is say 6 weeks comes along of age for the puppies, and mom is still nursing, and she is all just completely raw underneath. And what ends up happening is that she gets irritated and she starts growling at the puppies. Okay, or let's say the puppies are being fed with the mother still, so they're nursing and being fed with the mother. The mother goes in to eat the puppy food. She's tired, she's exhausted. You women that has born and bear children, you understand what I'm talking about. You're exhausted, you're wore out. You've been, either you nurse your baby or you bottle feed your baby. It doesn't matter. You're exhausted. You've been up all night long with a restless baby. Okay, you're exhausted, and you get irritated easily. It's not your fault, but it's true. It happens. So the best thing is what? Give yourself a break. That's when grandma comes in. That's when daddy comes in. That's when uncles and aunts come in. That's when nieces and nephews come in, and they help. Okay, because give mama a break. So what we do is we give mama a break, and we let her go, and we don't give her the opportunity to get grouchy with these babies, because those babies are going to pick up that behavior and they're not going to know why. So they're going to go to the food and they're going to start growling. They're going to go over here and start being a little bit more aggressive than they should be, and that's how that starts right there. Okay, so it's very, very important that we start young. As the breeders, we do that right, and then we socialize the puppies. It's not like, I'm looking for a new family member now, or a new puppy for the family, and I get this call all the time. Why are the prices so much different from puppy to puppy? Why can I go to this guy and buy him for $800, a backyard breeder that has no idea what they're doing, or it's just 100% luck on the things they do? You go to another breeder and they're $1,800, and I'm referring to the lab market, or the lab pricing. Okay. Then you go to this other breeder and they're like $2,500. Okay. You're like, wow, what's the difference? Well, sometimes it could be manipulating the pricing, and gouging you, which is common in any commodity or with any commodity, if I could say it that way. Hate to say that it's a commodity. Or there's really a true difference in what they're doing with the puppies, okay? And there's a genetic aspect there as well, okay? So in the lab world, let's talk about that for a second. How much difference is there in the genetic world? There is none. There's really no difference in the genetic world when you're talking from English lab, British lab, and American lab. There's not much difference. And what I mean by difference, what I'm trying to say is there's not a breeder out there that has something that nobody else does. Okay, the thing that changes is the color, perhaps the temperament, that kind of things changes, the characteristics, just like us humans. None of us are any better than anybody else. I don't care what your color is. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what kind of lifestyle you live. None of us are better than each other. We're all the same, okay? We're all made from a creator and we're all gonna die, period. Okay, so there's nothing different about any of these dogs, genetically speaking, okay? But here's what separates the breeders from the other. One can manipulate the pricing off of the color, like we just previously said, okay? And I'm sorry, I don't mean to go on a long speech here, but I think this is important that all of us know this, and that's why I created this channel. Okay, so the color could be a big difference. She's white. Some could do silvers, some could do charcoals, some could do fox reds, some could do chocolates, some could do blacks, some could do yellows, dark yellows, light yellows. Some could breed them where they have angel wings on them. Okay, some could breed them where they're black or chocolate and have a white spot on their chest. Some could breed for conformation, which means they're only breeding for physical traits. Some could breed for hunting, so they do more of an aerodynamic or more of a streamlined dog. So there's different characteristics there, right? So the only thing that really changes from breeder to breeder is how they breed them and what they do with the breeding. So let me take that another step further. So if we all got the same Labrador in this world and they're all genetically sound because we've done our tests, then what's the difference between $800 and $2,500? Is it just the color? Is it that I'm better marketing than someone else? Is it that I got a better name and so I've got a Nike shoe on and so my price of my shoe is going to be high because it says Nike on it? Or is it because I have done my homework in my breedings and then I've done the socialization and I understand these dogs and the importance of raising a dog? Okay, that's a difference because, unfortunately, and I say this unfortunately because there's no school you can go to. Come on, baby, come on. There's no school that you can go to that says, this is how you breed a dog, okay? There's none of that. Matter of fact, I don't know very many breeders that will help other breeders out, to be honest with you. Okay, so leave it. She's chasing that butterfly again. So there's no education on how to breed a dog. There's no education on the right ways of breeding dogs. There's no education on the things to do with the dogs. Okay, there's none of that out there. But there is, how do I want to say this? There is a very willing group to tell you how not to. Okay, if I could say it that way. Okay, so there's people out there that are more than willing to share their minds of how not to breed a dog and how not to raise a dog when they've never done it themselves, so they have no idea what they're talking about. Okay, but that's okay, because having people on the other side, it keeps everybody in check. Okay, it's called accountability, and there's nothing wrong with that. We can have people on the other side of the table that don't agree 100% with us and what we think in business or anything like that. It gives us, leave it. There's a butterfly right here, if you can see that flying around. She's all tuned in on it. Okay, it gives us accountability. So when we have that accountability, it should make us better at what we do. At least I hope it does for most of us. Makes us better at what we do. Okay, so to most breeders' defense, there's no wrong way, or there's no education for them to learn how to do it. They didn't go to a doctor school. Oh, that was so stupid a way of saying that. They didn't go to school to get their MD. Okay, in breeding a dog. Okay, so you say, well, what's the solution to all this? Okay, what's the solution? What's the solution to breeding dogs and making sure that the breeders know what they're doing? Well, I'm glad we brought that up, because here's the solution, is to create a certification for breeders that they have to go through to understand and to prove that they understand the concepts of breeding, and to prove the concepts of training, socialization of puppies. Okay, that's basically it. It's a 3-4 day course that they take to get certified, so that they can prove that they've been through this and that they understand the well-being of the animal. Now, we're not talking about opinions. We're not talking about someone giving their opinion on how to do this and then you get your certification. No, we're talking about people that know what they're doing, that's been doing it for years, and that have and that are educated how to breed, how to train, and then they do this certification, and now we have certified breeders. Okay, because here's the deal. Show me something that you could do out in this world to make money, okay, and to be successful and to have such an impact on someone else's life and have no certification, period. Okay, let me restate that or rephrase it into another way. Okay, how many businesses are out there that you could, in the nursing field, you could just walk into the door and you could say, hey, I know how to put an IV in, so step aside, I'll do it. No, ain't happening. Okay, they're gonna look at you and say, excuse me, security, escort this individual out. Okay, there's some certification. I remember when I was 15, somewhere in that ballpark, I worked for Walmart. This was back in the day, by the way. I don't think they hire this young anymore. I had to take certifications. Okay, I had to go in the back room, get on the computer, and I had to go through all these testings. I had to learn how to properly zone. I had to learn how to properly do this, how to properly do that. I had to learn how to run the register. See, it's education. Then when I went on the floor, I wasn't sitting there going, how do I do this and how do I do that, right? So, certification, it's education. Okay, we could be better about what we do if we educate. So I go to a lot of seminars with other breeders and we try to educate the breeders and so forth. But the problem is, those that show up to that are the only ones that are caring about bettering themselves. But what about the people that are breeding just to make a buck? What about the people that are breeding in their kitchen with their, and they have a swimming pool in the kitchen and they got puppies in there and they're just doing it to make a buck? Okay, that's the people I'm talking about, because I can almost guarantee you it's their puppies that are ending up in the Humane Society in the shelters. Okay, you take the number 1 through the number 10 top breeders in the nation, and I can name them for you, which I'm not going to, but I could. You take their dogs. I would love to know how many of their dogs are in shelters. Probably not very many. And guess what? And they're probably producing more dogs than anybody else. But what's the difference? Okay, they know what they're doing. They prepare the families, so forth and so on. So I'm gonna conclude this video. It's getting long. Sorry if I bored you. Hopefully it wasn't boring, but I just want to let everybody see Miss Annie here and the training. And as we're walking around and training her and teaching her manners and kind of going some important stuff. Again, I'm not doing this for some benefit of me. Okay, I'm gonna be very clear about that. I'm doing this for the benefit of the dog. That is my main concern. I'm sick and tired of these shelters being full of dogs, okay, and cats as far as that's concerned. I'm sick and tired of seeing all these animals being mistreated. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people buying dogs because they just feel like it, okay? And I want people to buy a dog to be a part of their family, but they've educated themselves. They've got a good breeder. They've got a good trainer. Even if they don't know how to train the dogs themselves, that's okay. Get a good trainer. There's a lot of good trainers out there. There's a lot of bad ones too, but there's a lot of good ones out there, okay? No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No. I don't like my dogs doing that. So that's a definitely no. what they do is they get a spot in the yard, and most breeding dogs will do this. Like she's obviously still intact. She's 6 months old, but there's a spot here that's been marked by another animal or another dog, and what she'll do is she'll rub in it and put that smell on her body. I can't stand that, so I don't allow her to do that. That's a no for me. Okay. And there's other reasons why they do that, and I'm not going to go into that right now. So anyway, I'm doing my part in this for the better of the dog, so that you guys can see training. I hope that you learn something from all this, either through all my blabbing or just watching me train the dog as I talk to you guys. You're more or less getting a vlog here on this, but I'm hoping that some of you will learn through some of this. And again, it's not for me, it's for the dog and you guys secondly, so that we can educate ourselves. This is a small little thing that I'm doing, but if we all help each other out in some small little way, it could be big. It could be very, very big. So we can all do our small little part together, help each other out, and make a big difference little at a time. So until the next video,